Our small New England town lay shrouded in a pristine white blanket of snow, the aftermath of a relentless storm that raged through the night. As I stood by the frosty window clutching a steaming mug of tea, I gazed out at the early January light that spilled a delicate glow over the streets, each moment heavy with unspoken stories. The stillness outside enveloped me, a haunting serenity that echoed the profound silence that has settled over my life since Daniel departed. My ex-husband Daniel walked away, leaving my son Liam and me to navigate the storm of starting anew together. At just 4 years old, Liam watched as Daniel walked away, leaving a void that would echo through the years. It was a struggle, but against all odds, Liam and I emerged victorious. He transformed into my unwavering support, the very essence of my joy. At 21, Liam was on the brink of transformation, stepping into a world where he could finally carve out his own identity. As I pondered the weight of my ambitions, a sense of suffocation enveloped me. The enormity of my dreams felt like a storm brewing, too fierce for this quiet little town to contain. The echo of footsteps descending the stairs jolted me from my slumber. They stood unwavering, a stark contrast to the storm brewing within Liam, who grappled with his own sense of self in these tumultuous times. He stepped into the kitchen, clad in pants and a knit jacket, the weight of his camera hanging heavily over his shoulder. His smile radiated warmth, a stark contrast to the biting chill of the January morning. He whispered, "Good morning, Mom," as he leaned in, his lips brushing against my cheek, a moment suspended in time. It was a subtle yet powerful indication of his transformation that his beard had returned, a testament to the journey he had endured. I replied, "Good morning, my love. Where are you rushing off to at this hour?" "The lake," he exclaimed, his voice trembling with anticipation. As the snow blankets the world, a breathtaking light emerges, and I feel an urgent need to capture this fleeting moment before it slips away forever. A surge of pride swelled within me, compelling a nod from my lips. Liam had always discovered a haunting beauty in the small things that others often overlooked. His pictures resonate with a depth that transcends mere moments, weaving narratives that pull at the heartstrings. "Is there someone you can confide in?" To my own astonishment, I inquired. Today, an undeniable pull compelled me to step into his world of art, a realm I typically allowed him to navigate alone. His eyes sparkled with an intense, overwhelming joy. "Is that truly the case? Will you join me on this journey?" I forced a smile and replied, "Of course. It has been ages since I last laid eyes on the lake during the winter's grasp." We bundled ourselves in warm clothes, bracing against the biting cold, and stepped into the unknown. As we trudged through the snow-laden streets, the icy air pierced our skin, a chilling reminder of the harsh world around us. The distance to the lake felt deceptively close, yet each step stirred a whirlwind of thoughts and emotions within me, leaving me anything but calm. The moment we reached the shore, my breath caught in my throat, overwhelmed by the sheer beauty before us. The pale sky loomed overhead, while the bare trees stood like silent sentinels around the lake, reflecting a haunting stillness that felt almost otherworldly. Frost clung to the trees, transforming them into shimmering jewels that glistened with a haunting beauty in the fragile light of the early morning sun. With a sense of urgency, Liam hastily arranged his equipment, carefully angling it to capture the perfect shot. The intensity of his eyes captivated me, while his hands danced with a blend of skill and raw emotion, pulling me deeper into the moment. In those moments, I felt the haunting presence of Daniel linger in the air. Not the man who shattered our connection, but the dreamer I once adored. "Mother." Liam's voice jolted me back to the present, slicing through the haze of my thoughts. He gazed at me, a subtle smile playing on his lips, his head tilted ever so slightly, as if the world around us had faded away. "Are you truly all right?" I murmured, my fingers sweeping away the snow from my coat, lost in a whirlwind of thoughts. "Your presence reminds me so vividly of your dad, as I watch you pour your heart into your work." I was taken aback when Daniel was mentioned, and Liam's response was unexpectedly calm. He rarely spoke of him, yet today, a subtle softness graced his features. "Do you long for him?" he inquired, his voice laced with an urgency that hung in the air. Before I nodded, a whirlwind of thoughts surged through my mind. It's not always as it seems. I yearn for the family we were destined to become, for the possibilities that slipped through our fingers, yet I find a semblance of peace in the way things have unfolded. It allowed me to be closer to you, to savor every moment we shared. As Liam's gaze locked onto mine, silence enveloped us, heavy with unspoken words. As he stepped nearer, he set aside his camera, enveloping me in a heartfelt embrace that lingered in the air. His warmth seeped through my clothes, wrapping around me like a protective cocoon. And in that moment, I experienced a profound sense of safety that had eluded me for far too long. He whispered, a weight in his tone. "I'm glad it's just us. Not a single thing would I alter." Tears threatened to spill from my eyes, but I fought to blink them back, refusing to let them fall. I uttered softly, "Nor would I." As the sun began its ascent, we lingered by the lake, holding our breath until the last remnants of snow and frost melted away. Liam seized every moment. A glimmer of light danced on the ice, a gentle ripple stirred the water where the frozen surface kissed the shore, and faint fox tracks wove a fragile path through the shadowy trees. As I observed him laboring, a profound realization struck me. Liam had transformed into something far more complex than merely my child. He stood as an adult, forging his own path, yet deep within me, I felt the unbreakable bond we shared would forever linger, regardless of the distance his aspirations might create. I glanced at him, a smile barely masking the storm of emotions swirling within me as we made our way home. "Liam?" he replied with a heavy sigh. "Yeah. Swear an oath. Everything hangs in the balance. Seek the beauty that lingers in the shadows of the world. That's exactly what we crave, more of that." He smiled, and his breath formed delicate clouds that lingered in the crisp, cool air. "Mom, I swear I won't let you down. Promise." As we trudged through the snow together, an unsettling sensation gripped me. Something profound and unspoken lingered in the air. A subtle shift enveloped me, as if spring had stealthily crept into existence, igniting a flicker of warmth deep within my soul. "Are you aware?" Liam began with a cunning smile, his gaze locking onto mine, igniting an unspoken tension between us. "Now I see the reason behind the silence surrounding my pictures lately." Liam's voice cut through the air, heavy with gravity. A sudden spark of intrigue ignited within me as I tilted my head, captivated by his unexpected words. He halted abruptly, raising the camera with a deliberate intensity, aiming it directly at me. "The most captivating subject has always stood before me, a constant presence that draws me in with an undeniable allure," he continued, a smile etched on his face masking the turmoil within. As I let out a laugh, I anxiously brushed off the snow clinging to my coat, the chill of the moment wrapping around me like a heavy shroud. "Are you talking about me?" "Not at all. Liam, I can't say I'm exactly what one would consider appealing." He hesitated, silence hanging heavily in the air. Before I could utter a single word, he captured the moment in a photograph. He finally confronted her, his voice heavy with conviction. "That's where you're mistaken. You are an incredibly beautiful person. It's not merely about possessing flawless skin. It's about delving deep into the essence of another person. What about you? You are truly remarkable." It wasn't the biting chill that flushed my cheeks with a deep crimson hue. It was the weight of his words. "Are you aware of your remarkable ability to wield words with such skill?" I responded, struggling to keep my emotions in check. His smile danced with a hint of mischief, masking the storm brewing beneath the surface. He laughed, suggesting it was all part of the allure. The laughter lingered, but the atmosphere shifted. As we made our way back to his house, he snapped pictures, his laughter ringing out as he teased the world around us with inside jokes that only we shared, each moment thick with unspoken connection. As we arrived at the house, an overwhelming wave of joy surged through me, a blissful ache spreading across my face, a delightful pain that signified something profound. As we stepped inside, the sound of his boots striking the wooden floor echoed ominously. "I can't wait to reveal these to you," he said, his voice laced with anticipation. I playfully removed my scarf, letting it slip from my fingers as I hung it by the door, the air thick with unspoken words. "I believe you'll find them captivating, but only if I have the final say on the modifications." As he ascended the stairs, his gaze lingered on me, a peculiar expression etched across his face. "Prepare yourself for the unexpected," he urged once more, his voice laced with an intensity that hinted at possibilities beyond imagination. As I toiled to tidy up, a dark chuckle escaped my lips, echoing in the silence around me. The lingering affection from our conversation hung in the air, palpable and intense. True to form, Liam vanished, leaving the rest of the day shrouded in uncertainty. He became engulfed in the depths of his artistic realm, where shadows danced and whispers of inspiration beckoned him deeper into the unknown. Occasionally, the haunting strains of soft music intertwined with the sharp clicks of his camera echoed ominously from his room. His unwavering concentration was palpable, a silent intensity enveloping the moment. The next morning, the rich aroma of freshly brewed coffee pierced through the silence, pulling me from the depths of sleep. I lingered in the warmth of my blankets, reluctant to face the biting chill of the January air that awaited me. Just as I contemplated the comfort of lingering in bed, the door creaked open, shattering the stillness. Liam stood there, gripping a box that contained a steaming mug of coffee, a muffin adorned with a flickering candle, and a delicate pot of flowers, the air thick with anticipation. He whispered, "Happy birthday, Mom," his voice trembling with a deep, heartfelt affection that hung in the air, heavy with emotion. "Liam," I breathed, the weight of the moment hanging heavy in the air. As I sat up, struggling to contain the flood of tears, my heart ached with overwhelming emotion. "You never had to go this far." He placed the tray on my lap, his voice steady yet laced with an unspoken weight. "Of course I did. You truly deserve this." He perched on the edge of the bed, his gaze fixed on me as I sipped my coffee, the dim light flickering out with a final breath. It unfolded precisely as I had hoped. The act, laden with significance, cast a profound shadow over the day, infusing it with an unmistakable sense of importance before it even unfolded. The hours slipped away, each moment heavy with unspoken words and fleeting glances, a delicate dance of joy intertwined with an undercurrent of longing. The house lay shrouded in an unsettling silence, a stillness that deepened as evening descended. The stillness enveloped me, drawing me into the depths of the couch, where I clutched a book, seeking solace in its pages. The silence enveloped the house, thick and suffocating, until the faint sound of Liam's footsteps echoed down the stairs, breaking the stillness just before midnight. He stepped into the living room, a sleek black box clutched tightly in his hands, the air thick with unspoken tension. His face remained an impassive mask, yet his eyes sparkled with an undeniable fervent joy. He stood before me, a glimmer of mischief in his eyes, and declared, "Mom, for your birthday, I have one more surprise for you." I closed my book, a smile creeping onto my lips as I turned to face him. "Liam, you've faced so much already today. What is happening here?" he urged. "Open it and see." Yet, there was an undercurrent of mischief in his tone. As I cautiously lifted the lid, my heart raced with anticipation, revealing layers of delicate tissue paper that concealed the unknown within. Inside lay a stunning set of black underwear, accompanied by a satin robe that seemed almost too delicate to handle. In that moment, words eluded me as I stood frozen, my gaze locked onto it. "Liam," I started, but my voice trembled with uncertainty. "This is absolutely enchanting," he interrupted her, a sinister grin spreading across his face. "There's so much more to uncover. Slip it on and ascend. Trust me." Uncertainty gripped me as I contemplated his request, leaving me in a state of suspended anticipation. Yet, the excitement in his voice was utterly infectious. With a surge of determination, I finally uttered the word yes, and then I carried the box to my room, my heart racing with anticipation. As I slipped into the robe and underwear, a rush of nerves and excitement coursed through me. With each step up the stairs, my heart raced, anticipation building with every heartbeat. My heart raced as I slowly pushed open his door, the air thick with unspoken words. The room was drenched in a haunting red glow, the lamps casting an eerie light through the fabric that clung to them like a shroud. A sleek, cold metal pole loomed ominously in the center of the room, casting shadows that danced with an unsettling energy. In the shadows, a machine exhaled faint wisps of smoke, hinting at secrets lurking just beyond the surface. A sleek and classy black leather cat mask loomed ominously on the table nearby, its presence heavy with unspoken secrets. His gaze pierced through me, the camera gripped tightly in his hand, a silent weight hanging in the air. He leaned in, his voice warm yet charged with an unspoken intensity. "You look incredible." He thrust the mask into my hands, his voice low and urgent, commanding, "Put this on. The images will reveal a beauty that surpasses reality." Despite my uncertainty, his smile ignited a flicker of hope within me. "Just for fun," he murmured, his voice barely above a whisper, laden with unspoken meaning. "You have consistently been there for others, offering your unwavering support and assistance. I will do this for you no matter the cost. I inhaled sharply, donned the mask, and stepped into the crimson glow. The room pulsed with an infectious rhythm, the music weaving through the air, compelling bodies to sway and dance, each beat echoing with an urgency that stirred the soul. Initially, a sense of unease washed over me, but the warmth of Liam's praise and the sound of their laughter swiftly lifted my spirits. He guided me with precision, seizing moments that were not only exhilarating, but also deeply moving. He lowered the camera, his gaze intense, and said, "You're a natural. Your brilliance is truly remarkable. I doubt you truly understand it." Your honesty took me by surprise. As I gazed into his eyes illuminated by the crimson glow, an undeniable shift coursed through me. This was about so much more than mere parties and fleeting snapshots. It was a desperate pursuit of intimacy. As the night unfolded, I surrendered my fears, placing my complete trust in him. The red glow enveloped us, and the soft haze from the smoke machine wrapped around us like a shroud, heightening the intensity of the moment. The pulse of the music throbbed through the room, wrapping around every soul present, igniting an electric atmosphere that crackled with anticipation. Joy surged through me, revealing hidden fragments of my soul. It had slipped from my memory, buried deep within the shadows of my mind. Liam halted, his gaze locking onto mine, a weighty seriousness etched across his features. "Your brilliance truly captivates me," he spoke, his voice laced with a hint of reverence. "Your confidence lies buried, shrouded in shadows waiting to be unearthed." I shook my head, a bitter laugh escaping my lips. "Conceal it? Dear Liam, tonight feels nothing like the ordinary Thursdays I know." Liam's smile was laced with intrigue as he leaned in, his voice low and charged. "You're talented, and I can sense you're relishing this more than you care to admit." I couldn't help but chuckle at his playful remark. Not everything he uttered was devoid of truth. Allowing myself to be exposed was a tumultuous experience, a delicate balance of liberation and raw vulnerability. Suddenly, a haunting memory surged forth, gripping my mind with an unrelenting force. It was a distant memory, buried beneath the weight of relentless work and overwhelming responsibilities, a thought I had long since pushed aside. "Do you truly believe this is impressive?" I crossed my arms, a mischievous glint in my eyes, and let a teasing smirk dance across my lips as I watched her reaction. "You haven't witnessed anything like this before?" Liam lifted an eyelid, a flicker of intrigue crossing his face. "What more are you concealing from me?" I responded, slowly shedding my satin robe to reveal the fragile lace beneath. I playfully remarked, "You're blushing," attempting to alleviate the mounting tension. He let out a quiet chuckle, his fingers tangling in his hair as a flicker of uncertainty danced in his eyes. "I never expected you to stroll in while I was staring at them," he said, a smug grin spreading across his face. As I returned the camera to him, I whispered, "Don't feel embarrassed." My voice trembled with unspoken emotions, the weight of the moment hanging heavily between us. "What you have created is truly beautiful, and my heart swells with pride for you." His fingers brushed against mine, a fleeting connection, as he grasped the camera and drew it tightly to his chest. He whispered, "Thanks, Mom," his voice trembling with unspoken emotions. "Thank you so much." As I drew near, the air thick with unspoken words, I pressed my lips softly against his cheek, just as I had done the night before. His skin radiated warmth, and a smile broke across his face, his eyes glimmering with deep gratitude. I stood there, my heart racing, and told Liam, "You have an incredible talent. Stand firm in your convictions, no matter the pressure around you." As I stepped away from his room, I closed the door with deliberate slowness, each creak echoing the weight of the moment. As I reflected on that moment, an overwhelming surge of joy and affection washed over me, igniting a deep, stirring emotion within.